What would you choose? A simple life, quiet and safe, or one of dazzling luxury, filled with delicious food but stalked by constant danger? This isn't a modern dilemma from a reality TV show. It's the central question of an ancient story, a fable told for thousands of years about two mice who inhabit two very different worlds. It begins in the peaceful countryside, in a cozy hole beneath a tree, surrounded by golden fields. Here lived a small country mouse. His life was beautifully simple. He ate what the land offered: grains, roots, and berries. It wasn't fancy, but it was enough, and it was peaceful. One day, this quiet world was interrupted by a visitor, his cousin from the city. The town mouse was everything the country mouse was not: sleek, confident, and smelling faintly of sophistication. "Cousin," he declared, looking around at the humble field, "you live in such a plain place. Come to the city with me. You'll see delicious foods, soft beds, and a truly grand life." The shy country mouse, intrigued by the promise of such wonders, agreed. And so they set off together. When they reached the town, the country mouse's eyes grew wide. The houses were impossibly tall, the streets were a chaotic river of carts and people, and the air itself was thick with the rich smells of 1,000 kitchens. The town mouse, completely in his element, led his cousin into a grand dining room. And there, on a massive table, was a paradise of food: cakes, cheeses of every shape, fresh bread, and gleaming fruits. The country mouse had never conceived of such abundance. They scrambled onto the table and began to nibble. "Delicious!" he squeaked, his mouth full of cheese. But his delight was cut short. Crash! The dining room door flew open. A monstrous shadow fell over them. A huge cat had entered the room. The two mice ran for their lives, their legs a blur as they dove into a tiny hole in the wall. The country mouse shivered, his heart pounding against his ribs. "Cousin," he whispered, "is it always this dangerous?" The town mouse laughed, though it sounded strained. "Well, yes, but the food is worth it." He didn't sound so sure. They cautiously crept back to the table, but just as they began to eat again, heavy footsteps echoed through the hall. A servant walked in. Once more, they scurried into hiding. The country mouse's heart hammered in his chest. He realized then that he couldn't enjoy a single bite of the magnificent feast. The taste of luxury was completely soured by the taste of fear. Finally, when the coast was clear again, the country mouse turned to his cousin, his mind made up. "Cousin, thank you for showing me the city. The food is grand, but the fear is greater. I would rather eat my simple grains in peace than feast on delicacies while living in constant terror." The town mouse sighed. He understood, but this life of thrilling risk was the only one he knew. So the country mouse journeyed back home alone, returning to his quiet field and his cozy hole under the tree, happier than ever with his simple, safe life. The fable's lesson is one we still grapple with, that a simple life with peace is better than a rich one riddled with fear. The story has been retold for centuries, from ancient Greece to modern classrooms. The famous author, Beatrix Potter, even wrote her own version where the town mouse finds the country equally terrifying, suggesting that happiness isn't about one way of life being better, but about finding where you, personally, feel content. The fable pushes us to ask what we're willing to trade for our ambitions and what the true price of luxury really is. It reminds us that true happiness might not be found in the grand feast, but in the quiet safety that allows you to enjoy a simple meal.